Hello there, thanks for joining today. I've been getting a lot of requests about making a video about what's in my backpack. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna show you what I bring for my backpacking trips in Scandinavia. And I'm also gonna show you what I wear while I'm out hiking. If you enjoyed this video and my channel, please like the video and hit the subscribe button. Helps a lot. So I'd be grateful if you do that. All right, let's just jump straight into it. So I got my Osprey Aether 70-liter backpack. Been using it for a couple of years now. Very happy with it. It's a bit heavy on features, but that worked pretty well actually. So I'm just gonna show you what a fully packed backpack contains. Got my water bottles, which is usually in Norway and Sweden, and up in Scandinavia I bring one Hygiene because you can have hot water and boiling water in it and use it as a heater inside your sleeping bag if it's a cold night. So that's my Hygiene, and then I just bring a standard soda bottle for additional water. Since you don't need to filter water most of the time in Norway and Sweden, these are the two bottles I bring for these Scandinavian conditions. In my top pocket here I have mosquito repellent and suntan lotion. I bring that mosquito repellent through the summer, but as you get into August you might not need it. Also have a map in here usually. And I have a pair of Hestra gloves that I use for, you know, just staying warm. Tend to bring a bit warmer gloves for Scandinavian summer trips than I do for the United States trips. So that's the top pocket. There's a map in here usually. I got the European edition of this backpack, so it's got a rain cover in here. In these two pockets here, the side pockets, I usually have my knife. It's a little multi-tool thing, very tiny, does everything it's supposed to do, and some painkillers, easily reachable if something should happen. In this other pocket I keep my headlamp, which is a black diamond, really inexpensive, affordable one. And I have some tape for my blisters. That's the side pockets. In the outside pocket here I usually have my camp shoes, which have been some lightweight trail runners this season. And this is also where I keep my shell. I might bring, this is a pretty heavy Gore-Tex Pro shell from Arcteryx. I might bring a lighter one if the weather forecast is really good. This one is pretty solid and heavy. And then kind of my luxury item, this Thermodown set light sleeping pad. I use this for sitting around camp and use it as a pillow at night with my backpack. So this has so many uses. Let's get inside the backpack. So first thing is my gear. I call this my gear system. So inside here I have my stove. My stove is Primus one. Really like this. It doesn't ignite on its own, like the thing that the spark thing is broken. Inside here I also keep this little towel. This is my one and only towel that I bring on my trip, and I use that for a lot of different things. It's got a like integrated cup that goes on top here, and it's been with me for many years, and I really love this thing. In this same pouch from IKEA zip bag I bring 2 lighters, because the igniter is broken, and I have my spork in here. So that's my cooking system basically. I also have the fuel, one fuel canister. I have a little dry sack with my power bank, which is a raw power 26,000 milliamps. Goes in here to charge my cameras, my GoPro and my iPhone. And I have a mosquito net from Sea to Summit. It doesn't do very well when it comes to no-see-ums. And I got my toilet and hygiene kit in here. I usually bring wet wipes that I use for toilet paper and to clean myself. But you have to pack those out, so I bring these zip bags to pack out my used toilet paper or cleaning stuff. Also have my tooth paste and my toothbrush in here in a separate zip bag, and of course antibacterial. That's always good to have when you're out there, so you can clean your hands basically, or anything else that needs cleaning. The next thing in this bag, the last thing, is my emergency kit. My emergency kit has a tiny ultralight watertight medical kit 5. I've added some anti-diarrhea pills to this one, and I also have some blister prevention here, just your basic moleskin, and I really like this Compete thing. Always bring this. This is the best thing for blisters. In here is also some spare batteries for my headlamp, and a couple of tiny rolls of duct tape. You can use those for anything. And a patch kit for my Thermarest sleeping pad. So that's my medical and toolkit. All of that goes into this dry sack here. Next up is my food system, which is basically an RSAC bear bag. Don't really need that for here in Scandinavia, but I prefer to use it. Inside here I have my coffee, I have my breakfasts that are usually tiny little bags of oatmeal, and I have some emergency rations, which are basically energy bars and some soups, and I have foods from this is the Norwegian brand Real Hiking Food, it's called, and so also some other brands that I like. Usually that's my meal for dinner. For lunch I usually have tortillas or some kind of bread that'll last for a long time. So that's my food. The oatmeal is basically just oats, and I add raisins, sugar and salt, and I pack those in small IKEA zip bags for my breakfast. So that's the food. In here is my camp clothing system. I have a puffy from Arcteryx, a pretty lightweight one, and for Scandinavia I also bring a pretty lightweight fleece jacket, and I have a pretty thick woolen base layer from Ulvang, Norwegian brand, 2 pairs of woolen socks just to have one spare, and I have my bottom base layer, which is also pretty thick. That's also from Ulvang, Norwegian brand. I have a beanie, good to have. I have a woolen, merino wool boxer shorts. That's really good for camp. And a shorts. Could be any shorts. So that's basically what I wear in camp. And that's inside the Sea to Summit stuff sack here. I also bring the Gore-Tex Pro pants, which is pretty, this is pretty good and solid. I'll use that in camp as well. If the mosquitoes are bad, or if there's, if it gets cold or wet or something like that. Got a spare dry sack that I can put my sleeping bag in if the weather gets really bad. Have used that a couple of times. It's just for emergency, basically. My sleeping pad is a Thermodown NeoAir. I love this. It's really cool. Keeping me very warm through Scandinavia this summer, and it's been keeping me warm in the United States as well. My favorite sleeping pad. It's got one of those blow-up bags to inflate it with. So Thermodown NeoAir, not the latest model. I think this has an R value of like maybe 4.9 or something like that. Not 100% sure on that, but it's really good. If it gets really cold, I'll combine the Satellite and the NeoAir. My sleeping bag is Western Mountaineering Ultralight. It's marvelous. It's really good. I love this sleeping bag. It's the highest quality sleeping bag I've ever used. So that's new for this summer, and it's incredible. Highly recommended. Never got cold in this, even though it's not rated for super cold weather. It's really good. And yeah, this heavy thing here is my tent. This is the Hilleberg Solo tent, and it's 2.4 kilos, which is pretty heavy, but still it's so amazing. It's like a fortress, and I've really had the need for that a few nights in Scandinavia this summer, and I love it. I have an ultralight tent as well, but I will take this out almost every time because it's just the best. So this keeps you safe. It's a one-person tent, and quite heavy for a one-person tent, but still my favorite tent. So that's basically it for what I'm carrying. It's not that different from what I'm carrying in the United States, but I might switch my tent for an ultralight tent and maybe have a little less clothing with me when I'm out in the States. So I would probably not bring the Gore-Tex Pro pants in the Sierra. That's really not necessary most of the time. So that's the stuff right there. So for the gear I'm using while I'm hiking, I have always my Patagonia ball cap. It's got a full back here, so the sun won't bother my head. If it was an open mesh here, sometimes I get sunburn, or I can feel the sun hitting me really hard. So that one's trusted friend. I love these hiking pants from the Norwegian brand Nordics, and it's the Falketin brand. I have this one and the one I'm wearing. Have all these great pockets and air vents and stuff. So that's my go-to hiking pant while I'm out anywhere, basically. I found these Norwegian Devoll woolen hoodies. These are merino wool long sleeve hoodies, and I have a couple of these, and they have become my main. I use this as a base layer or a main layer while I'm hiking, so I always have this on, and I might add the shell jacket or the fleece on top of this if it gets cold, but it rarely gets so cold that I have to add anything to this. So that's my main shirt basically for hiking. And I use these socks from Ulvang, a Norwegian brand as well. These are also kind of thin woolen socks, and I love these. They have kept me blister free through the summer most of the time, and they dry pretty quick, and they're warm and very comfy. In addition to that, I usually bring like a sweatband that I keep for not getting sweat into my eyes. I don't have that with me right here now. So in addition to that, I have synthetic boxer shorts that keep me from getting sore. The shoes I've been using most of the time this summer are the La Sportiva Ultra Raptor GTX, which are Gore-Tex, and I find these to be almost as good with grip as my trusted TX4 approach shoes, but these also have Gore-Tex, so they keep you a little bit more dry. So they've been perfect for me through the summer in Scandinavia. They don't seem to last as long as the TX4s, so they probably have a few more miles on them, but they're pretty worn out from this past summer. All right, so that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope this was helpful. I'll see you next week for my big ascent of the highest mountain in Norway, Galdhøpiggen. That's gonna be one of my favorite videos from this Grand Scandinavian hiking and backpacking tour. So make sure you tune in for that, and thanks for watching.